What's real? The logic mind and the spirit mind cannot be accessed simultaneously. Okay, it's impossible to be in two places at the same time. You cannot be both in beta state and theta state simultaneously. Okay, so just doesn't happen. Can't do it. Can't be thinking about my taxes and journeying at the same time. And I really shouldn't be driving my car and journeying at the same time. Doesn't work well, at least. Okay. I like to think of it as a roaming cell phone where you can't text while you're making a call. I know now you can text while you're on a call if you're in Wi-Fi, but you ever go somewhere where there's no Wi-Fi and you're just on your cell and then you want to text somebody and you can't because you're talking? Okay, it's kind of how my mind works, how all of our minds work. We can't do both simultaneously. So the fact that these two minds, the logic mind and the spirit mind, do not function simultaneously has been the source of a lot of confusion. And people have debated for years about which form of perception is, quote, real and which one is an illusion. Philosophers have expounded upon both sides of this debate for centuries. Spiritualists postulate that the physical reality is nothing but a dream or an illusion. It's all Maya. It's all Maya. The physical world is all Maya. It's all a dream. It's all an illusion. And materialists call the spiritual world a fantasy land. The truth is that both worlds are real. Both aspects of perception are equally real. They're just different aspects of perception. Okay, understand that. We're looking at the same world in different ways with different parts of our mind, and it's all happening simultaneously. There's a physical reality happening and a spiritual reality happening. And we have been trained to shut off our perception of that spiritual reality for the most part, except if we're sleeping or we're having these, quote, woo-woo experiences or non-ordinary experiences that are often diminished, discarded, invalidated by the material world. Well, of course it's invalidated because you see the truth when you look at the spirit world. It's very hard to lie in the spirit world. So, there's an ample motivation for a lot of people to want to diminish and discard spiritual perception. There's ample motivation for that. But when you live a clean, clear life and you live a life where you're absolutely clear in your intent and clear in your ethics, there's no need to hide. There's no need to hide. So our inner vision, as perceived by our spirit mind, is no more a creation of our imagination than the material objects that we perceive with our physical senses and catalog in our logic mind. So understand this. You're looking at me now on a screen, and yet you believe 100% that I'm physically real. I am physically real. Okay? I'm not AI or anything like that. Okay? But the fact is that there's a lot of steps between me and you right now. Okay? First of all, you're getting a projected visual image. But even if we were in the same room, there would still be the light reflecting off my physical body that was going into your eyes, that was then processing through whatever biology is in your eyes. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a biologist. Okay. There's stuff that's happening there in the anatomy. I do know that it goes down the optic nerve and sends a signal to our brain. And that signal in your brain would then interpret it as a visual image. Although it would have to turn it upside down because we actually see things upside down from the way we think we see them. Okay? So we're not actually directly perceiving as much physically as we think we are. Same thing when we're touching something, right? We're relying on nervous system signals to send that information to our brain as electronic impulses, right? Or electromagnetic impulses. And through those neural pathways, and then we interpret that stimulus. Same thing with my voice, through the ear and the vibration of the sound. Okay. We still are interpreting this stimulus that goes through our neural pathways. And if I was to talk in a really squeaky voice like this for 3 hours, you guys would probably be really kind of over it. Okay. And that's not my voice. Okay. That's not how I normally talk. But it would change your perception of me, even if my content was identical. Okay. So understand, we are getting things through numerous filters, even in physical reality, in flesh reality. Okay, we think that I see it, it's true. I hear it, it's true. That we're here having a direct perception. We're not. We're hearing through a lot of different filters that are unconscious. So what we're perceiving in our logic mind is no more or less real than what we are perceiving in our spirit minds. We just have a lot more practice in interpreting the data. We have a lot more practice in interpreting the data through our logic mind. Okay. When we learn the skill of perceiving, developing our language with the spirit, then we're able to perceive that data and interpret that data a lot more effectively. And it becomes fluency for us. Just like I'm fluent in touch, sight, sound, smell, and we all are. Okay. So this is the process of what we're learning. Okay. So we're habituated to perceiving the logic mind as our primary source of information gathering in the world. And we've been taught to ignore our spirit mind when it comes to information gathering. How many times have you heard, oh, it's just a dream, don't worry about it? Ever had a child, were you a child that ever had bad dreams? Had a nightmare and a parent or a caregiver or a teacher said, oh, hey, it was just a bad dream, don't worry about it. Right? That's a little dismissive of what's actually going on there. Well, why was there a bad dream? What was being communicated in that sense to that person? Okay. And so it's just something to consider, because undoubtedly there will be times when you can encounter people who may confront you with, well, how do you know it's real? How do you know you're not making it all up? Okay. If you decide to share with them about your spiritual experiences or shamanic experiences. Okay. So just understand it's equally real, and you don't have to explain or justify that to anybody else. You just need to own it and know it and stand in that truth. And the people who you're meant to be around, the people who will resonate with you on that level.